And recoverable errors, we are using something called results. And let's show you the result is, it's like a type, it's enum, have two variants, okay and error. So it means that if it's okay, so let's go. Do what you want and handling the stuff. But if it's not okay, which means there is an error, so you handle it based on that error. An example, simple example before going to the code. For example, you have get the version here from parsing it, and you just using the match statement to handle this. And if it's okay, do that. If it's not okay, which means there is an error, do that. And this is different from the option, which we talked about before. So in the option, there is a value and non-value. There is a value and non-value. So it's a different situation. So mainly in the error handling, you're using results to make sure that if there is an error, you can handle it in a proper way. Okay. And so you are using the result, and for this operator, we are using this operator like we say to the software or the compiler, if there is an error, just show it and just continue directly. If you would like just to move quickly and to unhandle the situation if there is an error or like that stuff. So you can in this case use this operator, question mark operator. But the professional way, or if you would like to handling the errors with a better way, so you're using the result type. Okay, so you handle different error cases with pattern matching as we see in the example, and we have a code to show it for you. This is a function called read file content. It just you passing a file path, and you return. It should return the content of the file, but it's wrapped with result as we talked now. This result is the type to just wrap it. If it succeeds, it's okay. This is the success, and we put this to make sure that the error in this way, if there is an error, it will be returned. So this is an error for the input output, okay, for the input output operations for the files. So in this function, we saying we wrap a result, and we said just return the content or return an error for this. Okay, so it simply just read the file and creating a variable called content, okay, which will contain the file contents, and that will be done through this function. This function read all the bytes until the end of file, appending them to the buffer, and the buffer here of type at mutable string, which means a string able to be changed, mutable, because every time you will just buffer, adding the content from the bytes to the string. Okay, and return it and wrap it with okay, which means contains success value for the result. Okay, which time it will return error here. You can see this is the question mark. I'm just saying here because, for example, in the open, attempts to open a file and read only mode. Okay, but it expected to return error. In the errors, this function will return an error if path doesn't already exist, and we will test this now. Other errors may also return according to this. Okay, so for this, if the file is not here, this is the file. It's not here actually, because let's see how it will be going. But I'm just describing to you, we put now the question mark to handle this, because this return a wrapped result. It may return the file here, or may return an error. So this is not returning directly the file. You can see here. Okay, so now I'm creating a new variable, which is a string. And now for this function, it's also not returning direct content or direct value. It returns wrapped result. Okay, wrapped value with result. So that means you need to handle the error. Simply what we are doing is just put this. Okay, now let's handle, in this program, we just using the match and reading the file content, and the file content returns wrapped result with the value expected to be correct value, and this is that error or the error type expected to be if there is an error. And now we just put two arms, the OK arm for the OK value and the error arm for the error value. We handle both situations based on what we want or business logic or whatever. Okay, so if we run this program, welcome to the error handling, this is the message. Now, reading file sample.txt, because I passed this file, sample.txt, this file here, but I did rename it to show you the error. What's happened is that there is an error, failed to read file, no such file directory, and just this is the error here. Failed to read the file, and after this colon, this is the error coming from the function read file content, and the function read file content got this error from this function because the file is not there. They said in the errors, we return an error if the path doesn't already exist. I'm showing you the concept of how to track the error, how to get back to the issue easily. Okay, so let's rename this to, let's rename it this to sample, and let's see what's happening. So here we go, it succeeds because hello from inside the file.exe. Let's open the sample. Sample said hello from inside sample.txt. Okay, so now it succeeds just because the file already there. But you can note that the file, when this error happened, program not terminated. After this operation, if I said please print do anything like new, just to make it separated and make it organized. That's the reason. Okay, and I said sorry, print, and I said continue other operations. Okay, and now let's go continue other operation. That means if there is a failure happen, do you think program will be stopped? It will not be stopped. Let's see. Error happened, cannot find the file, and we continue operations normally. This is different when we talk about the unrecoverable errors.